When Tanya Menendez left her high-profile job at Goldman Sachs to make leather goods, everyone thought she was crazy. But then she ran into all of the complications that come with manufacturing. Her solution? Something called Makers Row. It's an online platform that connects large corporations and first-time designers with factories and suppliers across the U.S. Today, Tanya is revolutionizing how we make things in America. Welcome, Tanya.
Thank you for having me.
You are such a powerhouse. I mean, you basically, you left your banking job and then decided that you were going to go follow your dream of making stuff. And I'm just connect the dots for us on that.
After I went to college, I needed to get a job. Entrepreneurship, I didn't feel like was an option for me because I didn't have, I had to pay off student loans.
Of course.
I had to do
You have to be
a lot of
responsible.
different things. Yeah, I had to.
Yeah.
I had to be an adult.
Right.
And I also, my parents had put a lot of pressure on me to get a real job. I met my partner Matthew at a concert in Brooklyn, and that was the first time I had met an entrepreneur my age that was just doing his thing.
Right.
He actually had started a watch company where he was designing watches and producing them in China. So I visited a factory with him, and that's when I just became really obsessed with the business. It was a small network of factories here in New York City in Midtown Manhattan. It's just this beautiful factory with tons of workers producing products for some of the largest brands, but also some emerging brands like us. And I loved it, and I loved how it was creating jobs. And it also felt reminiscent because my father was actually a factory worker when I was growing up. And so I knew that, factories and domestic production created real jobs that supported families. And so Matthew actually invited me to join as a co-founder of the business, so I quit my job and joined him full-time. During that business, it was going really well. I built out the direct-to-consumer side of the business, but what we realized was that it was so hard to find factories. We got a large order from Nordstrom, and Matthew spent months looking for factories. And at the time, this is 2012, the easiest way to find a factory was the Yellow Pages, Google.
I've heard lots of people who want to create things where they've said that one of the toughest thing is finding the factory to make your product.
Exactly.
So it's all shrouded in secrecy.
So that's when I told Matthew, I was like, we should start a tech company that brings all of these factories together. And I just started researching. I literally Googled how to start a tech company.
And so your partner Matthew, who co-founded the company with you, he is also a person of color. So he's African American, you're Latina. I'm curious, together when you guys went out to look for the other factories in America, how people responded to you, because you guys were people of color, but you also were young.
The response for us, to be honest, was really warm. Because a lot of the people in the factories were people of color also. I could speak Spanish to a lot of the factory workers and to the factory owners. That was really helpful. We spent hours really knocking on doors and going to these factories. And so we got this core of factories that became our advocates, and they helped us really expand in the early days, because for us to launch the company, it was really important to me that a critical mass of factories was on the platform. So we launched the platform in 2012, the end of 2012, about 6 months after we had the idea, and through an incubator. And so we built the site in 3 months. We got 1,000 factories on the platform within a month.
Wow.
And it was really because it was the initial 20 factories that really helped us scale it out.
That's incredible.
And that was really exciting for us. Just seeing the network effects of the factories and how they really got motivated to help bring American manufacturing back and help all of these factories get online. Around 2012, a lot of these small business tools started coming out. Etsy, Kickstarter, Shopify, all of these small business tools that are really democratizing entrepreneurship. And I just love the idea of people that they don't have to have $1,000 to buy a list of factories. They can go online, put up their project, and get bids from factories really easily.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What is your bigger goal here?
I really want Makers Row to be the Alibaba of the West. Alibaba democratized Chinese manufacturing. We are democratizing American manufacturing. So I want every single American factory to be on the platform. I want anyone that has an idea to produce a product to be able to easily find that manufacturer online, create a prototype, and then create a small batch, and then be able to produce and create a scalable business in America. And right now we're in apparel, furniture, packaging. I'm really excited about the next industries like, cosmetics, food, electronics. If you think about anything that's produced in America, like chairs, like I want everything to be produced on Makers Row and in America.